Hello again. Thanks for sticking around. I actually encourage you to stick around. We have a bunch of really great speakers coming up, super fascinating. The first one is from the Scale AI team. Our next speaker is taking us back to the future of Canadian artificial intelligence, reflecting on the 6 years of Scale AI, the folks who put on this event. Since 2018, this supercluster has co-funded more than 200 industry projects in this country. Today, Marc Vaucher, investment director at Scale AI, will share concrete lessons from these projects, including case studies, measurable impacts, ROI, and key takeaways from the sector as diverse as construction, aviation, mining, energy, transportation, logistics, and more. It's a unique snapshot of 6 years of innovation and transformation shaping Canada's economy. I'm super interested to hear the results. No pressure. Please, everyone, give Marc a hand.
Thank you, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here and to share with you the exciting 6-year journey of Scale AI and what we've learned so far. It's a pleasure to be here. Even the water seems great. The water is great. And so I'm Senior Investment Director at Scale AI, overseeing the selection execution process of our project portfolio. And I have the chance to join Joignez-vous and Hélène Desmarais at the very beginning of Scale AI. So I've been there since the inception of Scale AI. It's been an honor and a pleasure. Before that, spent 10 years in the industry, insurance, nuclear energy, and then private hospitals. So I've been in the AI adopter sector. I know what it's like to struggle every day to make sure that you get your operations right, and on the same time trying to innovate as much as you can to make everything more efficient. So finding the right balance between the two. Out of curiosity, from here in the room, please raise your hands if you're also working in an AI adopter. Okay, thank you. Which of you now are more working for an AI builder? So, academia, AI service providers, solution providers. Great, thank you. And then now, which ones of you are more in between catalysts, investors, innovation platforms? Thank you. Amazing. So a bit like me, I've been in between for 6 years. So it's a pleasure to be with all of you. And I think that's a great start to tell you what Scale AI mandate is about. Is really to bring those AI builders and AI adopters together, growing the AI adoption on one side to have more and more industries, more and more business use cases, to help the industry to be more productive and fuel the Canadian economy, Canadian growth, and at the same time grow the AI offer, AI products, AI solutions, addressing more and more use cases with a strong IP. If you followed my colleague Todd Bailey yesterday, strong AI offerings, strong AI ecosystem comes with a strong AI IP. And and the idea is once we grow that AI ecosystem, we make it shine on the world stage. Thanks to an event like this, all in, 6,000 people yesterday and today. And I'll speak about other examples. So how do we grow that ecosystem? We fund projects. So since the past 6 years, we've funded $750 million of projects, out of which $280 million are Scale AI funding. The rest is the industry funding. So we have a funding ratio of 4.7 with 180 product providers. So we have 2/3 of our funding goes to SMEs, so less than 500 employees, companies based in Canada. That's really part of our DNA. so that we can grow this Canadian-based AI ecosystem. And that's a total number of projects of 190. So very exciting journey. And at the same time, while growing this ecosystem, we make it shine. So All-in is a great example of this. 2 years ago, we were 2,300. Last year, 4,000. This year, 6,500. And as I saw in the crowd, roughly half of you are AI builders, the other half AI adopters. And it's a place not only to showcase what AI can do in real-life business and what actual impacts we can have, but it's also while being inspired by all these great examples of what we can do with AI, doing business. So being with the right people around you to do business, do more projects, and move forward more quickly. We've also been in Vivatech. Last June in Paris, Scale AI was leading the 600 Canadian delegation. We showcased 200 organizations there, ready to export and sell in Europe. So it's been also a very exciting moment to make the ecosystem shine on the world stage. That's an example of, that's showing you that Scale AI is really funding projects all across Canada in all provinces. We also have had the great news recently that between the second quarter of 2024 and the second quarter of 2025, Statistics Canada has registered twice as much companies claiming to use AI. So adoption has doubled in 1 year. So a great example also of the dynamism of the AI ecosystem. We really push to fund and grow any solution, AI solution, in any sector. So as long as the AI is really improving productivity, we are supporting those projects. So this is the examples of sectors we supported. It's just examples, but it shows you that we are really agnostic and diverse in what we supported. So you have examples of projects helping farmers optimize the way they manage their crop. Also, projects where we optimize the way crane drivers and cranes are allocated across construction sites with GAE. And you have healthcare example with Alaya Care, optimizing the planning of home care workers and their allocation to make sure that we can treat more patients with the same amount of resources, the scarce resources that is the continuous issue in the health sector. That's a way to address it greatly. And it's a really pan-Canadian project example. So those are the different examples of what we can do. And now the question is, what are the impacts? So I could speak about the dollar impact of all those projects. So far, after 6 years, 190 projects, the expected impact is $7 billion. But it's less about the dollars, and it's more about understanding at the end of each project for us, the levers that allow the AI to improve productivity. There are different ways AI is impacting productivity. You could reduce some time, the time you do some tasks. You could also reduce the number of errors you do in a given document or while you manufacture an item. You also can improve the throughput optimization. How many containers can you manage in a given terminal, or how many patients can you treat with your home care workers and the same amount of resources? You have also capacity utilization. Another great example, how many items can I store in my warehouse? Can I optimize and augment that number of items while not changing the size of my warehouse? Those all are examples of elements we measure to make sure we understand the levers between what the AI has done and how we get the bottom line impact, the dollar bottom line impact. So now, based on that 6-year story, that 190 projects, what have we learned? Because at the end of the day, how do we act with the ecosystem? When you come to us with a project or the willingness to do a project, CLA acts as another pair of eyes on your project. We don't have any financial stakes in your projects. What we do is really challenge the project, and as long as we are convinced that your project is set up for success. And we use the 190 projects we've approved so far to challenge, and the lessons learned we learned along the way to augment the chance of success of your project. And that's really how we act. So that's a bit of a summary of the lessons learned we gathered throughout the way. So, sorry. So the AI strategy, the first thing I want to insist on, it needs to be business-led. It needs to be with the buy-in of the executives. So it needs to be, you need to have the buy-in of the leaders, and it needs to be really thought through the business. So the first thing you need to do while building your AI strategy, what we've seen, is really think about all the business use case you want to solve. And even before thinking about the tools, it's really about the business use cases. And then you assess the feasibility of all of those use cases with the available data you have, and also with the AI experts and AI tools that are available out there. So you assess for all those use cases the feasibility, and based on this, you can set realistic goals with the amount of efforts you want to put in there to get to first projects and use cases to get a winning strategy. So business first, very important. The second thing that is also important to understand is that there are too many organizations that think that they should start the AI strategy only when they have a brand new data infrastructure, brand new ERP, before they can start their AI journey. That's wrong. You can start with the data you already have, can be good enough for some use cases, and while starting your AI journey with first easier use cases, you can improve your data infrastructure, improve your ERP, so that you do things in parallel instead of doing them sequentially, and you can start your AI journey much sooner. And when I'm saying you can start small, I'm not talking about pilots. I'm really talking about use cases on a limited scope. You bring up to the end so that you can measure benefits, business benefits, and you start that cultural shift within the organization, making sure that all those processes, all those transversal work that needs to be done within the organization is put into motion, the cultural shift is put into motion so that at the end of the day, your organization can grow the scope of what can be done with AI. Another element that is very important is the change management. I'm talking a lot about the culture, and we've heard that in different speeches today. That's one element that is absolutely crucial for a winning strategy. You need to bring the end users, you need to bring the executives, and you need to make sure that the people entering the data you'll need to run those AI models are also with you on that journey, because they need to understand how key that data is. And that's something you need to do also throughout the project duration and then after the project duration, so that you can maintain the solution over time. I think lastly, the last point I want to make on this winning AI strategy is really the kind of AI expertise you need. The first thing we think about when we think about AI strategy and AI expertise is really having the right scientific expertise. Which are the models I need for a given use case? And how should I train that model given the quality of data I have, and what kind of performance can I get from those models? That's the first skill set we need in AI experts. And that is pretty natural. We think about it more often. The other kind of skill set you need also, and is one that some organizations think about not as often, is to bring your running model that works on a single computer, the prototype, to production. It's the same thing as building a prototype car and producing 100,000 cars a year. That's not the same scale, and bringing that prototype to production is another skill set that is absolutely essential for your project to be a success. So that's another element, another skill set that is very important. And lastly, you need to have a transversal AI expertise. You need to have people that can help you using different kind of AI tools. And too often, we forget about some AI tools that are available, on which you have great experience in the ecosystem, but that are not leveraged. And the example I have, and I'm going to spend 1 minute or two on this, is that some organizations think too much about AI agent or generative AI models and forget about the other models that could be used. So what I'm going to share with you right now is a very simplified AI toolkit of what is available today out there in terms of AI tools. It's very much simplified, but it gives you an idea of what are the AI tools available today and what can they do. And they are all complementary. You can use them, combine them together, but having the right experts so that all those tools you could be using, if they are relevant for your organization, is very important. So you have three families, or again, it's very much simplified. You have three families of models. You have prediction models, optimization models, and Gen AI and agentic models. For the prediction and optimization models, you more often have customized model. So you need to have internal data. On one side, it's more structured data to capture seasonality and trends, so historical data. On the other, it's more business rules, the constraints, and freedom of choice, so the elements you need to optimize for. Then you train the prediction models, and they run pretty smoothly afterwards, so pretty quickly afterwards. On the optimization side, you need models that run quickly, so provide the answer quickly to you, because you need to run them each time there is a change in your business constraints, and there are a lot of changes, so you need to sort of run them every time you need an answer. So because it's mainly custom, for those models, you need AI experts to train the models, so you need more scientific depth in the expertise you need. And you need also people to maintain those solutions over time once the solution has been developed, because it's customized solution, so it's not a product that is maintained over time by itself. So you need more efforts on that front as well. And those are addressing typical use cases like demand forecasting, predictive maintenance on the prediction side, inventory optimization, and capacity allocation optimization on the optimization side. Those are only examples, but there are many others. And then, when we look at the generative AI and agentic AI models, for these type of models, it's very different. Most of those are products available on the market that you can adapt to your needs. So you need more integration expertise, a better understanding on how those models could be integrated within your systems. But you need less in-depth expertise, scientific in-depth expertise, because those models are already pre-trained. They are products. So you need less efforts to maintain those solutions over time. But you need to understand that those models have great advantages, but they address specific use cases they are very good for, but not all of them. So the typical use case those models address are internal workflow automation or knowledge management. So the main message here is do not forget to look at all the available tools and make sure that your experts can address and work with all those tools with you. So I'm going to a short conclusion now. Thank you very much. So it's been a pleasure to share with you those 6 years of Scale.ai journey. And I'll be excited to connect with you during the end of this afternoon if we didn't have the pleasure to do so far. Scale.ai, and it's an honor, and it's amazing to see what the ecosystem around us at this all-in event. We have, I had the pleasure to also share with you the fact that we have proven impacts that we are measuring for all projects we fund. And one last key element I want to leave you with is really anchor your AI strategy in business goals, leveraging experienced partners and all available tools. So thank you again, and have a great afternoon and great event.